So,
but it is how humans think, though. Like, a lot of times, nobody's really praying or is close to God per se until comes a life-threatening situation where it's life or death. And then you get on your knees immediately and you start praying. You're like, oh God, this and that, this and that. And as soon as the moment's gone, you just stop praying again. Then you just go back to the same shit you were doing before.
yeah, that's why even when I'm going through some shit right now,
you don't pray?
I don't ask God for help. No, because I know how fucked it is. Like, it's fucked up. Like, imagine a person like always coming to you to ask for shit, and like every time they're doing good, they forget about you. They never call you. They never text you. And every time they do call you or text you is because they're asking for some shit. Like, isn't that fucked up?
No.
Like, wouldn't you feel some type of way?
Yeah, I would definitely feel some type of way. But I still think it's better to pray at least when you're down than not pray at all. That's kind of like you looking at God and you're just be like, nah, fuck that. I don't need you still. I didn't need you before.
I feel like, to be honest with you, like the last time I called out for God's help like that was when I was in a plane and there was mad turbulence.
So you did exactly what we're saying.
Exactly,
here.
But that was like life or death, you know?
That's what I'm saying.
I guess, yeah, but which is fucked up. I shouldn't have done that, you know, because like I don't regularly communicate when things are good, nor should I do it when things are bad. But for some reason, it just came to my instincts to, you know, call out for help of the unknown.
Oh man,
bro, it's fucking terrifying. And it was like the worst turbulence I've ever felt. So I was like, damn, this might be going down. So just in case, I need to at least ask God for forgiveness, if there is such a God.
You get up to heaven, he's like, when was the last time you prayed, Marty? Let's look here. Oh, 5 minutes ago. And before that, 2011, when you were getting your ass beat by some cops over at Pompano.
Yeah, bro. I don't know. I think I don't know. I try to avoid that. Like, if I'm not like constantly calling out for God when things are good, why should I do it when things are bad? Even though I did at that time, I just feel like, I don't know. I just felt wrong doing it.
Do you believe in God or like a higher power or something of that sort? Yes or no question. Don't give me a fucking I don't know here.
But you asked me this before.
I did, and I didn't get the answer I wanted. So now I'm trying to get a yes or no, not an in between.
I don't know.
But when you're in a life and death situation, you say you do.
Yeah, but that's just in case God does exist.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Look,
I think that makes it worse.
I heard an answer that I thought was perfect, but I can't remember it now.
I'm glad. Fucking
it was something
plagiarizer.
along those. No, it was no, but I really felt it. Like, I really related to it. It was something along like, I think Jim Rohn talked about it. You know who Jim Rohn is, right?
Jim Rohn or Jim Rowe?
Rohn. I think it's with the N. The motivational speech guy.
Jim Rowe.
Is Rowe?
Yeah.
It's not Rohn?
Mm-mm. Now I gotta look it up on Google. But I'm pretty sure it's Jim Rowe.
I thought it was Rohn.
Go ahead.
I thought there was an N. But he says something along like he fuck, man, I really wish I could fucking say it like word for word, because it was like so perfectly said. Because like the way he talks is like so precise.
He kind of talks like a robot.
Bro, I love the way he talks.
It's Jim Rowe. Like, there's no N.
Jim Rowe?
Yeah.
Can you look up like the quote like that he talks about, like he lives like God exists or something like that? I'll tell you exactly what I feel once you tell me that.
I don't know if this is the one that you're looking for, but it's saying faith is the physical description of God. That's what he is. It's only word we have in our language to accurately describe his physical form. not worrying about the cost of materials and tools extends my artistic freedom. I don't think that's it.
Fuck, man, that's not it. But he said something along those lines, like how he doesn't necessarily believe in God, but he acts like he lives his life as if he is a believer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that makes any sense,
No,
though, like what I'm saying.
I mean, to me it does. Even
what does that mean to you?
It means that you might not necessarily believe in a higher power, but you walk as if you do believe it. It's kind of like you work out as if somebody's watching you, even though nobody is, you know?
Yeah, right.
Meaning you try to do the best even when nobody's around.
Yeah. Yeah, like I just pretend like he is definitely watching me, even when I'm alone, you know? So I try to behave like how I would if there was people watching me.
So with that being said, you lean more towards believing that there is no God.
I think so. Even though I grew up in church and I literally went to church my whole life, and I learned that, you know, there's a God and all that, I still lean towards more like there could be something else that we don't know about, but it's not the God that is in the Bible. Nor do I believe the Bible.
Well, yeah, but when I say God, I'm not just talking about the God that's depicted in the Bible. I'm just talking about a higher power in general. Do you believe in a higher power or no?
I'll say yeah. Yeah, I think in some way this world was designed for us, but I don't think it's the God that Christians describe. I think it's a presence. I think it's like all things that, like, just a presence, man. Like Mother Nature is God, you know? Like Mother Nature is like an organism that like works with us in our life, because I do think that like there's certain things, like certain mindsets that attract certain things too. So that's got to be something. That's got to be like some type of higher power working with you. Like the law of attraction. Like how can that work? And how can you attract certain things in your life if there's not a higher power working towards or to help you out, you know? Like Jim Rowe, he has a quote saying the more you push, the more the future pulls. Meaning like the more you work for something, the more likely you are to receive what you're working for.
Yeah, it's kind of like the harder you work, the luckier you get.
Yeah. Exactly. So I mean, for you to get lucky like that, it's got to be something out of your control, something that's definitely higher power.
Yeah, I mean, it's what you said. It's kind of like the law of attraction. It's the quote that
I just said. Do you believe
in
the law of attraction?
I do. The quote that I just said. I definitely think luck is manufactured. You manufacture your own luck by working hard. If you don't work hard towards a certain goal, like us, we're content creators. So let's say that we want to create a series. If we don't work within this field and we don't continue working and pushing ourselves, we're never gonna get an opportunity to buy like a big company like Amazon or Netflix saying, hey, do you guys want to create a show on our platform? You know, but if we continue working on what we do, that possibility will arise.
Yeah. So how does that relate to God existing?
I mean, everybody has their own depiction of God. I guess because we were raised in church, we're following more of a format that's kind of given to us. But I also stray away from the traditional beliefs of church, and I have my own depictions of God. Like, for instance, I think that we're all gods in our own ways. We're not the God. I still think that there is a creator amongst everything, but we will all become some form of God when we ascend to a new life. And I think It's just hard to understand things as humans when you take out time, space, and matter. Because when we're born here in our physical flesh, we already have an expiration date.
Okay.
So it's hard to understand that God isn't affected by time, space, or matter. Because we're affected by all three.
Okay. And God is not.
No, definitely not.
What you're saying.
Definitely not. But I think we won't be when we ascend to our higher selves as well.
And when will that happen?
I think our souls have to be fulfilled. I don't think once you die, you ascend to your higher being. I think you live multiple lives throughout time. And it's hard to really understand that because, like I said, when we're put into this earth, we have an expiration date. But God isn't affected by these things. So when we ascend to that higher self, we won't be affected by these things either.
So do you think we're like gonna go to heaven?
I believe that there is a heaven. Yeah, I think when we become that ascended version of our souls per se, like I think we're reborn into this earth in a different, it could be within the same time period, it could be in the past, it could be in the future, it could be whenever. And I think that your soul just continues to grow and your soul continues to expand. And then once you've completed what God has sent you into this physical earth to complete, like your soul.
Once you fulfilled your mission.
Yeah, basically. Once you fulfill your mission, I think that's when you...
Then you die.
Sure. Your physical body dies.
Right. Damn. But that's kind of scary, right? Like once you fulfill your mission, it's time for you to go. Because like some people die really early and it makes you think like, damn, they barely lived. Well, but maybe that person fulfilled their mission in this world and therefore they died.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, even like a child, you know, maybe it could be a toddler that's like 3 months old and he ends up passing away tragically. But he's teaching the parents how to grieve and how to love one another, or whatever the life lessons that child is meant to teach. It's going to be teaching those other souls.
Right.
Have you ever heard of the story of the egg? I think I mentioned this to you before.
The what?
The story of the egg.
Like, what came first, the egg or the chicken?
No. It's really interesting. I'm not going to read it to you because it's not long, but it's going to take you like 10 minutes to read. But it's something that I believe in, honestly, which is this guy ends up dying and he talks to God. He ascends and he talks to God, and God is kind of explaining a whole bunch of different things to him. And he says, okay, now I'm going to send you back into Earth. And this time you're going to be a little Asian girl in 57 BC. And he's like, wait, what? I'm going to be an Asian girl in 57 BC? And he's like, that's right. I'm not affected by time, space, or matter, like I was mentioning before. And you aren't affected by time, space, or matter either once you become a higher version of yourself. But as of now, you haven't completed your mission. So I'm sending you back into Earth so you can fulfill that mission. At the end of the story, he finds out that every living person in this world is all the same person. And it's literally just a training ground for your soul. So every person that you've hurt, every insect that you've killed, everything that you've done to yourself. You see what I'm saying?
Because we're all connected.
Because we're all connected. And we're all the same. That person has lived all these other lives.
Is that why we relate to each other? Like whenever we see something that other people are going through, good or bad, that we kind of put ourselves in their shoes and know what they're going through?
I mean, we try to do that as humans. We try to empathize and sympathize.
Uh-oh.